Okay, so welcome back to Tactics and Touchlines. Today we are doing Touchline Trends, the Champions League edition, and we want to review the past games that happened. We saw Liverpool going out of the Champions League, which I think some of us on here would be a bit happy, some would be a bit surprised about it. So we'll start with the Liverpool thing, and we'll ask Rap because our main shot for the show.
Charlie, it is a different ball game altogether. Even if we draw, we are good to go. But I'm not sure we are going to go. We'll beat Paris Saint-Germain at Anfield easily. Easy win. 2-0 first half. We are done. We are good. Next round.
So, Raf, we want to find out what was the problem and why wasn't it an easy game for Liverpool? But they went 1-0 in halftime and they went to penalties to lose. So, as a Liverpool fan, what was the feeling on that particular night? And what do you think your club did wrong? And what did PSG also do right to eliminate you out of the Champions League?
Thank you very much once again. It looks as if anything my predictions are not accurate. Now, I'll be very quiet and allow the game to unfold by itself, because I remember my last prediction I did before this PSG. I said Liverpool will beat Manchester United, and it backfired. Yes. The same first half 2-0, it backfired. Now to be first half 2-0, it has backfired. Now I won't do it for the third time. Now going into the game. Exactly. Hands up. Now going into the game, yes, as I said, I'm not a technical person, as I should say. But the real game itself happened on tactics based and system based. Luis Enrique, as I said, is a very, very tactical manager. He knows the game really well. And I can see how poised he was for the game. He really prepared for Liverpool. Just like we're talking about the German Bundesliga. Paris Saint-Germain has dominated the French league for some time now. Hence, they have no motivation playing the Bundesliga. So the president, El Khalifa or somebody like that, he told the Luis Enrique that he wants the Champions League. And I can see it emphatically now that this is one of the best teams Paris Saint-Germain has assembled in over 5 seasons now. Even when they had Neymar, Messi, and the big boys, they were not too compact and solid like this. You know, Luis Enrique even told the owner there are some certain players he's not going to work with them. He wants to work with his own players. And look at the magic he's creating in it. I have been following their game and listening to podcasts concerning how they are going to set up. For example, this year, Joao Neves and Fabian Ruiz and Vitinha. I felt, they are not huge or big to compete with the likes of the Szoboszlai, but totally dominated the game. I mean, Ancelotti didn't prepare for Liverpool going for penalties. I got to remember when Liverpool played against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup final. And Jurgen Klopp had a penalty expert who took our boys to penalty sessions. We played about 11 penalties and we scored up. Ancelotti felt Liverpool were going to. There were a lot of things that didn't go. Let me just be sharp with that one. Number 2, concerning our penalty kicks, we didn't plan for penalties. Liverpool thought we would have scored in regulation time, and it backfired. We tried our best, it didn't work. When we went for penalties, some of our best takers, I mean, the first person to take in our setup is Mo Salah. After Mo Salah is Alexis McAllister, and then we come to Dominic Szoboszlai, and then Cody Gakpo, and then we have Wataru. And these are the 5 set pieces in terms of penalties who are supposed to do it for Liverpool. But unfortunately, 2 of the best takers were off, and then Darwin Núñez went and blasted the ball straight to the goalkeeper. And then my second thing that didn't go according to plan for us was that Liverpool's players are very tired. For example, somebody like Gravenberch. Before Paris Saint-Germain played against Liverpool, they played against League in the league, if it's League, I stand to be corrected. And they rested almost most of their key players. Liverpool went ahead with Southampton with almost every key player. Gravenberch, McAllister started from the bench, but he came on in the second half. 40 minutes, he came on. They were tired. We played Van Dijk, played Konate, played everybody in that game. And it is very obvious that we were tired. With Liverpool, for the past 2 months, we've been playing games every 3 days. Whilst the French team are getting enough rest to rejuvenate and then prepare for a big match. We were tired and we couldn't even chase. As about 70 minutes, I can see Gravenberch not even able to track his marker. And then we were exposed. And then even though the Anfield supporters came, they did everything they could. But I think the better side on the day won. That was Luis Enrique and the Paris Saint-Germain.
Okay, don't you think Ancelotti on some side, because during the weekend you had a game against Southampton, they are bottom of the league, you are on top of the league. The gap between Liverpool and Arsenal is a bit huge, especially when it comes to EPL terms. 13, and you go into a game knowing that there is Paris Saint-Germain. So we even talked about it, that we're looking at he resting a lot of his players, and at least starting with the Kwanzas and a whole lot of boys. So do you think it was needed to start Van Dijk and almost 8 quality players in a game against Southampton, knowing that you have a big game against PSG?
Listening to other pundits in England and what they are saying, it looks as if the team is much more concerned about winning the Premiership, that is the league. Because in any interview Salah grants, Salah says he wants to win the Premier League. I don't know why, but I feel they needed the Premier League more. They feel maybe the Champions League is too early for Ancelotti due to the big boys in it. Now he's not getting used to it. And when it happened, our fans were not able to come out in the Anames to cheer the team. This is a time they want to give back to the fans by winning the league for everybody to see clearly that this is what Liverpool has been able to do. So I feel in as much as Liverpool won the Premier League, you can Saint-Germain a big match with a 15 points gap in the league and still go ahead and play your key players. What if a key player picks an injury? But he didn't even mind. He went ahead, played his key players in the league, and they, of course, were exposed. The likes of Ousmane Dembele and Kvaratskhelia, they will pick you on. So even when Liverpool were attacking, we were a bit cautious. Whenever Liverpool was trying to attack against Paris Saint-Germain, we were cautious because the moment it breaks forward for Ousmane Dembele, he's going to create problems. And whenever they get a one goal at Anfield, it's game over. So we decided to protect that and also balance the equation, but it didn't work as planned. So we just go back home and then go to the drum board and come back better next time.
Okay. Sam, let's look at Liverpool. They were on top of the Champions League phase, giving especially EPL clubs, when this is just one win from an EPL club in European competition, so that EPL gets the fifth spot in the Champions League. They going on top helped this type of charge coming on. Do you think in the Champions League phase, now going for a team wouldn't even rush getting to that top spot? Because if you are getting to the top spot, you are going to meet maybe a tougher opponent that would cause a lot of problem for you. So going into next season's Champions League, do you think this is one spot everybody will be fighting for, the top spot of the Champions League?
Thank you very much. I think with in a tournament, everything comes in play. I think there have been some coaches that even target some certain places that they want to even be at. We've seen teams be at the top and later nothing really happens. It depends on who you really want to play or where you really want to be. I think teams will still fight for the top spot still. It just tournaments have these things. You can be at the third or the fourth spot and still play bigger teams, or be at the top side and still lose to a very small team. So it's both sides. I don't think that will really deter teams from fighting for the top spot. With Liverpool, I think on that night, I believe, I might be wrong though, but I believe they were too comfortable going into the PSG game. As Raf even said, easily 2-0 first half. They had a very comfortable game the first leg. So I think they were hoping that coming back to Anfield to be quite easier for them. But this is one of the best PSG teams I've seen in quite a very long time. There is nothing like any special player in there. I think they're all playing for the bag. They are quite young and they all have that aim of playing to win something. If I'm to really take a team to, if not Madrid, a team to win this Champions League, it will be PSG, because I've not really watched any of their matches this season, but I watched the Liverpool and the PSG match, and I was very impressed from their progression from the back to the midfield, and that young guy in the middle, is it Juan Mendes?
Yes.
He was being chased by Manchester last season, and only God knows what happened, and we allowed that guy to go to PSG. He's very young, but his technique and how he even holds the ball, release the ball, it's quite amazing. PSG now, they played without a typical striker, and he came on at the latter part just to come and play. penalty. I think they had a very good game. They came with a very good plan. Anfield wasn't that scary for them as we assumed it would be, and Liverpool just had it wrong.
Okay, from my side, I think Paris Saint-Germain came into the game looking at I think they were prepared for penalties. Paris Saint-Germain were more prepared for penalties than Liverpool, because if you could see the Gonzalo Ramos change, it was purposely for the penalties. And I think they knew that they wouldn't come and beat Liverpool by 2-0 at Anfield, but they can take the game to penalties or extra. So, and looking at the game, when the game was more stretching, Paris Saint-Germain were a bit happy because they had the young players on the bench, Desire Day and the rest, coming in with more pace. But Liverpool's bench, they had to even throw in Cody Gakpo, who was not really fit. And you could see when he came in, he couldn't get enough touches or enough play like we used to know him. So I think the game was won based on what we call like the team that came into the game more prepared. With Paris Saint-Germain, they came more prepared with, okay, we are going to get an early goal and we'll see how we stretch the game because we have the men to make it a bit solid. And as we said, Liverpool playing their key players also during the weekend was the problem. So I want us to look at the Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid game very shortly. Was that a double touch, and should that be cancelled or not? So Raf, let's start with you. Was it a double touch from Julian Alvarez? And do you think the goal should have been cancelled?
My bias against Real Madrid will tell me that ball was not a double touch.
Okay.
My bias, because Atletico dominated, not like the perfect domination, but they were able to organize themselves.
Very solid.
Yes, it created a lot of debate in town as to if it was a double touch. But somebody also told me, reading from somewhere, it says that the balls have these sensors which will be able to signal the officials if it was a double touch or not. But looking at other videos, I can't see the touch there. I can't see the touch there. So it's still a controversy. UEFA, yes. They are working things out to see if they can amend the rules concerning that particular kick or something like that.
Okay. So, Prince, let's look at that same incident. Do you think it was a double touch? And what was your remarks, especially your view on what happened? Was it right? Even if it was a double touch, should a goal be cancelled or not?
Actually, I watched about 20, 30 videos already, and just to understand how it's a double touch. There are some videos you watch and it shows that he touched hitting the ball, it touched the other foot. There's some videos that show clearly that it didn't touch, and it confuses, I think, the masses.
Yes.
But I believe in such a game, the referee should have used his discretion to be probably giving it as a goal. You understand? Because such matches like that, there is so much tension, there is anxiety, there is a lot of emotions involved. So doing something like that to create a scene that will later bring a whole issue and a whole controversy and all of that, simply just make it look like, okay, it's a goal, so let's continue. Because the person has already kicked the ball, gone back to join, and you later come back and see the goal has been disallowed because it was a double kick. Personally, I feel like the referee should have at least taken the fact that this is a tough match. Let's just let it slide and let's see what next. And I'm happy Atletico has written to UEFA and they are going to amend the rule, because if a keeper crosses the line and a penalty is being taken, why shouldn't the guy be allowed to take the penalty again? I just don't understand which law is that. Because if a goalkeeper crosses the line and the penalty is being taken. At least this is fair. I don't know, but I honestly wanted Atletico to meet Aston, but so let's just. I'm being emotional because I wanted Atletico. So.
That's good. Okay, so I think there are two people that are more emotional because Raf wanted to want Real Madrid out, and Prince also wanted Real Madrid out. So with Sam, you don't care about whatever happens in the Champions League. So was it a double touch? And what was your remarks also on that decision?
The decision was quite harsh, to be honest. I was following the match, then I think my network went off. Then I came back and I saw it to be a missed penalty. I was quite surprised. I didn't know what was actually going on. But I think the best thing should have been it should have been retaken again. I think that would have been fair. But let's be serious. It's Madrid. Every Champions League, Madrid comes with these controversies, and I've not really seen any Champions League without a Madrid controversy. So it's I think it all spices the Champions League though, but I don't think Raf really has an issue with who won or who didn't win. I think we are all in the same boat. So whether it was a double touch or not, Raf, please, I did that too. Praise can have that discussion and worry about who he plays next. But no. I think it was harsh though, but they should look at new ways to amend these things because it takes the fun out of this game and it brings some setting of discussion around games too. So it was quite harsh, but yeah, a Champions League. So, yeah.
Okay, so I think to me it was a bit harsh because yes, it was a double touch. From the videos and the angle shows, yes, it was a double touch, but it wasn't that a stronger one. It was just a faint type of double touch because the ball didn't divert that much compared to other double touches we've seen, like the Mahrez for Leicester City. I think it was a Premier League game. You could see the ball had to divert to another side. This wasn't.
There was one of Messi.
Did you see the Messi one?
Messi's, yes.
Messi,
but that one he let it go. So I was thinking this was something at least a retake would have been cool. At least let's cancel it, retake it again. But as we said, we need situations like this for it to happen. Now UEFA needs to look at their rules. Now they are looking at if there is an intentional double touch, then it will be cancelled. But if it's not intentional, then there will be a retake, which I think if they are to stand on that and make it work, it will help because initially the pitch was very slippery. You could see players falling. Mendy had a slip. You could see some of the players falling. And I think that was something they should have just considered, especially going into penalties. You know, that particular spot has been used by a lot of people. So surely someone may slip off. But Atletico are out. I think they played a very good game. They should have at least had a good spot or maybe win ahead of Madrid. But we all know Real Madrid in the Champions League, if you get a chance and you don't punish them, they will surely come at you and they have